All right, it's go time, baby. This is our interior first shot. We're lighting up the inside to match exposure on the outside because we need to see this RV through that window. And we need one more light.
So you can almost be setting your cup down even before she finishes her run.
No interviews, no B-roll. This is purely a commercial shoot, and this is my yearly exercise at it because I am rarely hired as a commercial DP. If you were watching last year in January, you would have seen that this agency hired me for 7 days in Florida, and we filmed 3 spots. Well, the spots were so good that they wanted to create another round of deliverables for this following year. So they said, bring the exact same crew. We just want to do that again. So that's awesome for me because I don't normally get to be in this position, and I've done it a few times. I did it in the Bahamas, and I've done it at a couple of resorts in Orlando. But typically, I'm doing corporate interviews, documentaries, stuff like that. So now I get to dissect the image. So you saw I pointed to that little glare in the window. We're trying to use the 600 to bounce and give some fill. And just, we actually have time to figure things out and to do it exactly how we want to do and make the client happy, make my director happy.
I think gimbal is going to go first on this. We're just doing a dry run rehearsal for blocking. The main issue here is just all the reflections. The weather's not that bad. And then my 300C is not weather sealed. So that's our little waterproofing mechanism. So we had one guy who said, hey, do you want to get the tent up? And it wasn't raining, and it was like, yeah, sure, why not? As soon as it's up, started raining.
I know. Cut that shit up.
We're gonna have more GPS content.
Fucking brownies all over.
Actual content.
You didn't even bring it up for me. You're gonna eat all.
Jay, for the announcer scenes, where are those gonna be?
So the announcer's still gonna come from around the RV with the umbrella.
Should I tell him to get ready?
Yes, if he's not in his suit, we can go ahead.
For those of you like me who don't do a lot of commercial work, let me just give you some scope to the crew size. So there is me, the director of photography. Then there is our director, Jay, who is in the white shirt on the left. And then Jake is the second camera or PA. And we all have individual roles, but we will definitely all lend a hand wherever the help is needed. And we got Brady as a PA, and then there's a couple higher level people. Chief Creative Officer, script supervisor, and a couple more minds and hands to just help us do anything that we need to.
Keep going. Keep going. More. Right there. All right, right now we're trying to hide that 600 with the beam. We got to worry about the legs being visible. Maybe we could put a plant there or something. But we need all of the fill in there. More. That's good. And then walk it back to you like 2 inches. Yeah.
Like always, using these DJI mics more than I thought I would, so we're going to be recording over there, but we need to have our talent sitting on this couch. We want it to sound far away, so I'm going to put the mic here, just magnetized perfectly, and it'll be about 5 feet away from the subject's mouth. It'll sound like they are a big distance. So with all that shouting that I was doing, there is definitely room for having headsets here. That would be nice. And I use this job as a way to say, let me just bring everything that I have. So I was able to do a couple nice features that I wouldn't really do on any of my other corporate work. So here I'm using my iPad as a director or client monitor. I had asked Jay, the director, do you want one? And he was like, yeah, maybe, if it's easy, if it doesn't, slow down workflow. So I'm using the Hollyland 300S transmitter. Funny enough, Hollyland hit me up before this and said, take a look at our inventory, tell us what gear you want. And I said, hey, I actually have the 300Ss. And they said, that's very old tech for us. And I was like, it's fine though. I don't need anything else. This is absolutely perfect. And for this situation, I can go straight to a mobile iOS device. I don't know what new features I would even want to see from them. So old transmitters works perfectly. I really love the iPad integration. It's just a lot easier than a larger, thicker, heavier monitor that requires V-mount batteries or handles or anything like that. Anybody can just grab this iPad and they know what to do.
I get these uncontrollable cravings for new adventure.
Don't get me started on the mood swings.
Check out our weatherproofing system. For this type of shoot where there's like only a couple hands on deck, the autofocus is crucial. So we did a shot where we had our host here and then we rack focused to people back on the patio, and so I put on my viewfinder and then just did tap focus, and it was not an issue because it was exact every single time. Whereas if I was manually pulling focus, especially on one of these GM lenses, it wouldn't be as fast or as accurate. So this is the perfect tool for this. That one.
Where does that big 600 go?
In the case.
The one that you brought?
Alright, small rig battery is never going back on that camera again. It is being relegated to lights. If it breaks this, I don't care. Actually, both of these lights are battery powered. They're my only battery powered lights. So this Gene Array 1x1 panel and then 60D. So we have a lot more lights in there, but one, we need size and remote power. So I'm glad I have both. All right, we need some hard light to go through here to kind of give a hair or edge to the person in there. And we're gonna use this and the barn doors to cut. And I think that'll work fine. And otherwise, we would have to use the 300C. We'd have to run cable all the way out here, so this is way better.
And then at the box, nice and cozy. You're looking out the window. I'm gonna start talking and you're kind of gonna drift back into the RV with your look. All right, so here we go, and out the window. And PMS is a real condition. And then you're gonna say your line.
Oh, that's my line?
Yep. PMS is a real condition.
I knew it wasn't just in my head.
Dave Rack,
Correct.
Harvest Host can help.
Love it.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Wait, is she supposed to be at a harvest? She's not supposed to be at a harvest location, right? Not yet.
No.
She's just
There-
sitting in
there
her
you got the
park
park.
motor
Yeah, we got our
home. Yeah.
park motor.
This is a parody type commercial, essentially a spoof on those medical commercials where they're like, everything's great or side effects are crazy. And we're doing different takes. Some are conservative, some are over the top, and that way the agency will have some flexibility with the client in post. That was one thing that we changed from last year, is we only had what was one take written in the script last time.
How many scenes did we do though? We did one interior, we did one here, we did one there, and then one in there. 4 scenes. Halfway through the day.
Taking a video of you.
No, well, Boondockers will come. It's like where you go and
I'm going to talk a little bit about the specific gear I chose or used on this. For the Hollyland wireless monitors, they worked great. Connection time was great. Stability was great. The only thing I found out that I kind of wanted was, since we did have that B cam, I wanted to be able to have both signals feeding into the same app and be able to either simultaneously see camera A, camera B, or be able to toggle. Now, I know there's some higher level products like Teradek that can offer that with their app, I believe. But I'm not sure if that's available on Hollyland. However, the new Sony Monitor and Control app does allow
for multiple cameras to feed into the same app, and you can multi-view. That could be a really, really big asset. However, I don't know what the stability and range of that setup would be. So I'm going to test that in the future, even though I don't have a lot of jobs requiring that. And then for lighting, I love my 300C. I love my 200X. I just am always seeing the value of being able to go battery powered. And with those cameras, there are possibilities, there are solutions, but you got to go buy them.
There's so many simple bells and whistles on the FX6 that make it the right choice for crews that don't have a lot of dedicated roles, with the autofocus, with the ND, with the monitor control app. It just makes it an easy tool. Whereas if we had more people, we had more scope, we could do more exact finite things. All right, for this shot, we're doing a windshield mounted A7S III with a 16-35. There's a couple ways we could transmit signal. One is use the monitor and control app with that iPad way over there, but I'm thinking it might be easier just to hardline out of the HDMI and go into one of my old crappy monitors. These guys, Swit. But actually, now that I think about it, the person holding this monitor is going to need to be further away than this, so maybe we'll try to set up the monitor and control app.
So the camera's seeing you through the windshield. What we're hearing is...
Jake, is that recording?
Huh?
Is that recording? Can you see?
No, it's not.
It's not?
What we're hearing...
All right, here we go. Here we go.
all right. Yep.
So I don't get hired for commercial work often. However, I am having a blast on this trip. I love the corporate and documentary space. However, this type of work where we are focusing all of our efforts into saying, this is the shot in the storyboard, we need to make it look as good as possible. All that focus, that hyper focus, is very fun. I don't think in general I want to be in any one genre completely because I get bored really quickly. But if I have my retainer client who is in the social media fitness space, and then I have my small one-man band kit for corporate interviews, and then I absolutely love going on to doc work, especially when it's like me and a sound guy and we're just character following. Like, I want to do it all, but I would not mind leaning more into this commercial world. This is the level that I'm at right now, and I'm very grateful to be at this level because this agency did a ton of pre-production so that now when we arrive on set, almost all of the issues have already been worked out, and we can just put out very small fires and work on getting the best product possible.
All right, using the panel again for a hair light. It's really nice having some type of modifier. So those barn doors are good. Nice different variation from just normal LED COB lights. I'll show you guys the frame. I think the hair light's a little too hot. So this is exactly the time when I wish I had a panel on Sidus Link, because I have to now lower it all the way down, change the intensity, and then bring it back up. And look, it's just so much easier having all my lights running off Sidus Link. So this is like, I think the only light I have that is not on Sidus.
If you want to do like some pull outs, a little orbit or two.
Try to get. If you need me to move that hair light, let me know.
I'm keeping a lot of this BTS raw, and that's intentionally because a lot of the videos I see on YouTube, they are very valuable in their BTS, but it's very polished entertainment style. Whereas if it's your first time on set, you don't know the speed of how a production moves, or when they ask you to do things, how quickly do they expect it to be done, what is the communication like, and that's just why I think for the people who do this type of stuff, it's extremely valuable, because, you know, I say it all the time, but you don't know what you don't know, and I don't know a lot. So the minimal amounts that I do know, I'm happy to share, and I'm happy to show exactly what it's like without having a hidden agenda, without dropping you down some sales funnel. It's just video work, but I really enjoy it.
ISO 12800 is insane. We have this light on 3%, and we have to have it. We just backed it all the way out here, and then that 300C is on 1%, and the image is really clean.
And sometimes 2 nights.
And then ending the day with the new purchases. That is the CF Express Type A cards, SSDs, and transferring about 78 gigs in 3 minutes. That is definitely worth the upgrade costs. So we got a full day tomorrow, and right now I'm just charging all of the gear, making sure that everything is topped off. iPads, batteries, not too many other things, but it's gonna be freezing tomorrow. This job is so creatively fulfilling, like so glad that I get to do these types of things. I had to clear off some of the space on my hard drive to make room for today's footage, and I was just going through and I was like, man, there's so many different types of work. Like, of course there's my retainer client that I do twice a month, but there's a big variety, and I think if I was at a 9 to 5, I would go nuts. So the price, like my rates kind of go up and down, and dates come in and out, but overall the variety and the general overall income, but freedom to choose. I really like being a freelancer, and the lifestyle, the kind of the mental processes that go along with it.